In our high paced, always changing, always evolving world, there came AI. And this is not this type of video where I'm gonna be talking about the rise of AI. AI is a new whatever. I really don't care. And I'm sure you're also full of it. But we are here to talk about AI in writing. Because what do you mean I wasted 4 hours of my life yesterday reading an AI written story? How did we come to this? I really don't know, but we're here to talk about it. Now, I'm not sure if this writer is a girl or a boy, but just for the sake of the video, I'm gonna be referring to them as she or her. So, this girl, she definitely came up with the story herself. Okay, and I'm gonna be committed to this because there's a dog. I do think that she came up with the story herself. She had a direction with the story where she wanted to go. She knew what kind of character she wanted in there, the dynamics, the relationships, specific character traits, and just the vibe in general. She knew what she was doing. She knew what she wanted. The only thing that was standing, you know, the only like last step that was standing in between her and like the story be complete, the story be out there, is literally just sitting down and writing it. Okay? Take a laptop, take an iPad, piece of paper and a pen at the end of the day. But just fucking sit and write it. Instead, she turned to AI and asked him to write the whole story for herself. And I think the reason why I do think she came up with the story herself is because it's so like detailed and like actually thought through. It's like it's not some kind of vague prompt she just gave to AI, to make it like obvious to just like written with AI in like 20 minutes. No. Like I think she did think it through. She had the idea and everything, but she decided to put this energy not into actually writing the story, but trying to trick her readers and basically like working with AI hand to hand, but instead AI took all the credit for it. So let's talk about how exactly you can see that the writing is done with AI beyond, my instinct for AI writing. I do actually think I have some sort of sense for AI writing. It's not like I know immediately, but there are signs. And let me teach you guys because this is a really useful skills and like you need to know them. Nowadays, it's essential. Okay? And I think that this experience also comes with like just reading a bunch of shit that I do, like literally every single day. I'm reading like 3 books simultaneously right now. So my head is fully messed up with all kind of stories, but nevertheless, it doesn't stop me of speaking up on the matter. And if you think it took me like 4 hours to realize it was an AI written story, you're actually in the wrong because I did realize it earlier, maybe not immediately, but I think like I did continue reading it even after. I was like 100% sure it was AI, but I don't know, it's just like I was just holding on to something, okay? I just can't lose hope in humanity this quickly. Like I don't know, I just needed something to like because there was potential in that story. Okay, I see the idea, I see the vision, but the fact that she turned to write it with AI is like, girl, come on now. Like this is not how we do it, this is not how we do things. So first things first, the dialogues and the characters. Hopefully, you can hear the dogs barking right next to me. But anyways, let's not go to let's not get away from the topic. So the dialogues. and the characters themselves. There are like five characters that were central to the story, and well, they all feel like the same person. They all feel like the same person, and it can not only be seen through their body language, which in fact she didn't write well. I mean, AI didn't write well at all. Like, there is no specific physical traits or like demeanor, manner that shows off like physically from the characters, if you know what I mean. So it can only be seen through dialogues, and they all talk the same way. Same manners, same demeanor, same jokes. Like, they literally feel like the same person. So even her like really pathetic try to like describe them, she did describe them all in once, like giving some specific traits to each of them. But like, you, it can't be seen through at all in the dialogues, the way they interact with other characters. And in fact, another thing about dialogues, and this is just like separating good writing from bad writing in general, not just like in the AI writing style, whatever. If me, as a reader, I read a dialogue scene between two characters, and I don't understand who is saying what, like, literally, I need to like second guess myself. Like, I literally need to take a second. Like, with her, I was literally sitting on like 10 minutes on the same page trying to understand who is saying what, like which character is saying what. If this is happening in your writing and like in writing in general, this is like a bad written dialogue. There's only one word for that: repetitive. Every single dialogue literally follows the same pattern, the same script. It's like, I might not know what they're gonna say. Like, I don't know what the next thing you're gonna say, but I know the way it's gonna be written, the way it's gonna be said, because AI follows this specific scheme, this specific pattern of how he will write the dialogue. And there's this Korean series that I watched not long ago, and it's called Notes from the Last Row. And I really want to give you a quote from it because it's truly amazing series. Honestly, check it out if you want to. It's basically about this student, exceptionally talented writer, whose professor takes interest in his writing and he proposes to give him individual lessons. And it's basically about one getting obsessed over the other story. But anyway, not getting away from the topic, I remember something that this professor said. You, in terms of characters, right? You don't just create characters, you create relationships that affect their behavior and the ways that they act and interact. Oh my god, there's a fly. And the ways they act and interact with other people, with other characters. And so we can all agree any character, and even we as people in real life, we interact differently with different people, and it's really dependent on the case and the environment we're at. So a specific character is not going to be acting the same way he acted with every single person before that. But in her writing, she just threw in five random people who feel the same way, and they interact with each other the same way. And in stories in general, like books, films, whatever, the protagonist, he always has some sort of flaw, some sort of problem that he needs to overcome by the end of the movie or the story. And this is what actually makes a reader root for that character, because there is like this motivation within him to get to that happy ending. Name me at least one character who didn't have some sort of problems or sort of difficulty in his life at the start of the book. Everyone has their own skeletons in their closet. You know what I mean? But like, again, in this story, like, now that I think about it, like, what was even like the story about at this point in terms of characters? Like, there were nothing. about them at the very beginning, and there were no character development as the story progressed. It's like they're there, they speak like AI robots, there are no special interactions between them. Moving away from the dialogues and the characters specifically, descriptions. Specifically, descriptions of a specific feeling that the character is feeling, apparently. I mean, did you know that AI robots have feelings? I didn't. Anyway, describing a specific feeling, right? So, there was this moment. She literally went on like 3 pages rant or 5 pages. I don't know. I actually skipped through it because I was like, I'm not reading this. I'm done. So, describing a specific feeling for 5 pages, but it's like you're saying the same thing, but with different words. You know how AI likes to like use big words or just like going on a like 5 pages rant about literally nothing. Like if you actually sit down and think about it, like you didn't tell me anything. Like this is just an empty talk. If you wanted to describe that specific feeling, you need to show it through the dialogue. Through some specific interaction or something that character does, maybe something out of character for him, something like he's struggling with because this is a new feeling for him. But instead, he stays in the same position. As I said, no character development, no nothing. It's like he's feeling different emotions, but I see the same thing that I saw on the very first page I read about him. You could have made even like some really little subtle interaction. This is what makes the writing interesting. This is what makes the story special. You see how this characters really goes off. This character really will go out of his way to kind of like show or not show that feeling and everything. But instead she like sit him in a room with his feelings, just like describing them. And he was just like sitting in his bed. How about I lock you in your room? You know, some like actually like way wide room. Just I will put the table in the middle of it and I will force you to write the story by hand for 4 hours straight. Because this is how much hours I wasted reading this AI slob. Okay? I'm actually so passionate about this because like I just can't. I can't understand this behavior. I can't. And something that like literally broke my heart is the fact that someone like wrote a review to her, literally like praising her writing style, saying like, "Oh my god, I really love the way you describe this emotion." Absolutely not. Did you not read the same thing as me? Like, and it's really sad that like people won't, understand and feel the difference between like AI robotic writing and like actual real human writing. And some people would even write those type of reviews using AI. I even saw like comments on YouTube which are literally like one sentence comments, right? Using AI. It's like, are you not even able to write a single sentence without relying on AI? It's like, how crazy is that? It's like you watch the video, you feel some kind of emotion, you felt like you wanted to comment on that. But instead of like typing it out, you go to like AI and ask him to do it for you. It's like, brother, what? Actually reminded me of the video I saw the other day, literally yesterday, about this teacher who was literally having a mental breakdown. Like he was sobbing his eyes out. He was crying. He was crying about his senior class that he taught the other day. And he said that like those kids are not able to read and write. He literally gave them the task to write one single sentence, one sentence, right? Based on like the 2 paragraphs they read together, analyzed together. He literally like gave them the structure of the sentence. They just needed to fill out the words. He gave them answers before he gave them questions. And it's like they were not able to do it. And so he literally like this professor sits there and cries about like, and those are like 17, 18-year-old kids. Next year they go to the university, hopefully. hopefully they get there, because and it's like it's not even those kids' fault. It's all, once again, social media, AI, like heavily relying on AI writing. It's really sad, and it's gonna get worse. Trust me, it gets worse before it gets better. So yeah, 4 hours of my life spent reading an AI stop. Having the ability to write is so essential, you have no idea. It's literally, and it's not like, even you might be like, well, I'm not planning to be a writer, I don't need this. Okay, fine. But trust me, you need to have the capacity to write a single sentence, to literally like comment on a TikTok or YouTube video. You need to be, you need to have the ability to be able to write, even to like comprehend your own thoughts. And if you're gonna be like this girl, you're gonna be committed to the bit and you will go out of your way to write anything, literally anything with AI, you can go and fuck yourself, because this is not how we do things here, okay? And sooner or later, your brain will just literally rot, and you will rot with it. And on that note, thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.